Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the virtual conference on artificial intelligence 2020. First of all, thank you very much for granting me this opportunity to talk on this particular subject, which is always been very close to my heart. I've been one of the pioneers of this technology 20 years ago in Pakistan, one of the first movers on building artificial intelligence landscapes, artificial intelligence based applications, beginning 2001, 2002. So I've seen, the technology evolve where it used to be called just data mining or like all different kind of acronyms, but now it's more acknowledgingly known as artificial intelligence. So I've seen different industries growing leaps and bounds to adopt and develop different kind of changing models. But at this point in time, I feel that there is no industry which is immune to the digital transformation that is happening around the IT landscape. And of course, artificial intelligence is the one which has given the most applications contributing to this, this particular transformation of the digital landscape. New business models are emerging. The customers have got increasing expectations from the vendors, from the solution builders, and the workforce itself on the technology side of the house, on the marketing side, sales, no matter it's public sector or the private sector. Workforce has also gone and transformed their professional habits, networking habits, the way that artificial intelligence technology has evolved, and it has given them lots and lots of momentum moving forward into the next phase of the digital landscape emerged. Before talking about the artificial intelligence in details, talking about a few other use cases, I would also like to briefly mention what do I understand by artificial intelligence, since I've seen the technology evolving from its inception. I think if you look around, your organization, there are lots and lots of digital systems spread across the plethora of different line of businesses. But I think if you have to define artificial intelligence, it's a very simple ability for the computer systems to perform tasks that normally used to require human intelligence. So basically, it's kind of, you will always find different kind of vague kind of definitions, but I think the best definition is that the computers have started performing all those tasks which required human intelligence and a human brain in its most nascent form. It has come up with improved and automated decision making for enterprises, for individual human beings, and for every walk of life, for every segment of business, no matter where it is located, no matter whichever geography it is. But as I mentioned, right, I saw this technology evolving. I can tell you off the cuff that artificial intelligence is not a new concept. The name has evolved, but it has not been a new concept. If you look back year 1950, right, you can dig out how Alan Turing proposed the intelligent machines concept. It was more or less the advent of artificial intelligence, as so to speak. 1997, Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov, who was the current chess world champion. In 2011, Watson defeated Ken Jennings and Brad Rutter, the two most successful contestants ever in Jeopardy. So things have evolved, systems have evolved, more and more processing power coming into the systems, which has given artificial intelligence that kind of a space where it was looking for in order to create newer and newer applications and solve newer challenges. If you recall, in 2016, Libratus defeated 4 professional poker players in a no-limit Texas Hold'em tournament. I recall that live in 2016. AlphaGo defeated Lee Sedol, the Go world champion, in 2016. So artificial intelligence have gone leaps and bounds, way, way beyond what we actually thought 10 years ago that it can do. But it has started doing things which we used to only imagine that probably could be a fairy tale 20 years down the road. But now we are actually seeing it happening in reality. Talking about a little bit of a more basics of artificial intelligence, I think one of the most basic applications And one of the most basic interventions in the IT space of decision making, you can see once you see different kind of chatbots, right, which use AI to understand customer problems faster, where it provides more efficient answers than a human being sitting in a call center. That's one of the best artificial intelligence that I can think of, which has proliferated the most. Intelligence assistant uses AI to parse critical information from large and free text data sets to provide improved scheduling. You can also see recommendation engines, right, can provide automated recommendations to the TV shows based upon viewers' habits to improve event scheduling. So I think these are the most rudimentary applications. But if you look around the landscape of AI apps, you will see machine learning has given that kind of an impetus to create deep learning applications, predictive analytics applications. Natural language processing technology has provided you applications like doing real-time translations, classification and clustering of different languages, speech to text and text to speech kind of applications, expert systems by pattern matching, planning, scheduling, optimization, robotics. RPA, robotic processes automation, is the one which is coming up pretty much thick and fast at the moment. I think in another 5 years down the road, or perhaps earlier, robotic processes automation technology, AI-based technology, is going to replace all the call centers of the world. It would definitely replace all the BPOs, because the economics are cutting down from X amount of dollars to almost X divided by 12 per year dollars. So I think it's going to change the way that people have been doing business traditionally in the telecom space. One of the most significant realization and recognition rather of the technology you can visualize by looking at the big eights of the world, that are Oracle, Facebook, Google, Amazon.com, Microsoft, OpenAI, Apple. All of these big eights have invested heavily in the artificial intelligence engines. They have developed their own artificial intelligence engines by embedding the complex statistical algorithms in their own applications and marked their applications as branded applications for their own company. So you can see, the scalability of the clouds that has happened on Azure, on Oracle, on Amazon, driven by the AI engine, in an extremely big way. But then people would say that why there has been so much of a push on building artificial intelligence application and a technology which is coming commercially to the length and the breadth of the world. It has always been the customer experience and the customer demand which drives these kind of initiatives. So if you look back 5 to 10 years ago, there have been more complex applications have been coming in. You can see the buildup of the cloud. Now you almost have like unlimited kind of a compute in the cloud. You want to have like 500 CPUs in today's point in time, you will get instantaneously through Azure, through Google Cloud, or through Amazon. And then that has also subsequently and in turn created a huge data deluge that by putting all of these kind of diverse applications in the cloud, creating so much of data, now what to do with that data, how to monetize data. That's where artificial intelligence kind of technology and apps come in. And once you deploy these apps, once you start reaping results and revenues out of this app, will further drive a fierce kind of a competition across all of these big eights and the companies who have been involved in developing AI applications. So I think all of these drivers have been pretty dominant in terms of scaling up vertically and scaling horizontally all of these artificial intelligence applications. Usability of the people also has gone, I feel, exponentially high. Almost 60% of the population of the world at this point in time are digitally active, means on the social media, on web, on mobile phone, started using more and more applications to take decision making on day-to-day affairs, from small to medium scale enterprises to the bigger and the bigger enterprises. That is also a kind of a validation how these applications have been used across the world. Let's talk about a few of the use cases. One of my favorite use cases is how agri-tech is using AI in different parts of the world, specifically in US. The place where I come from California, I can see on Highway 5, it's about almost like 500 miles of a strip, where left and right, the farmers have actually been using artificial intelligence applications, to make better predictions on planting, weeding, and harvesting of their crops. You can basically have a huge image of your crop field, and using AI technology, you can actually tell which particular plant need a kind of a segmentic pesticide, and which other segment of the crops field doesn't need any pesticide. So you can save lots and lots of money by using these kind of technologies. And then predictive maintenance, right? Country like Pakistan, which has predominantly has got reactive maintenance in terms of managing their machines, which is expensive, time consuming. AI technology can actually help all of these companies who have deployed these machines in operations to predict when exactly do they need maintenance, and that also maintenance will be provided by these applications graphically with extremely high accuracy. So all you have to do is to put sensors, put vibration sensors, put sound and torque monitoring kind of equipment on your machine. Data starts coming into the cloud. You crunch that data, and at the end of the day what kind of a pattern is emerging from my machine. Is it moving towards the maintenance schedule, or it is in the healthy shape? Last but not the least, I would love to talk about the developments that have been are happening in the healthcare space. Over the period of time, healthcare companies around the world, they have accumulated humongous amount of patients' healthcare data, patients' healthcare historical data. Using AI, you can actually create and generate patterns across each and every disease. Now, you've got these kind of patterns in your repository, and now taking the current pattern of COVID-19 effects coming in, you can actually very easily tell a year, 2 years down the road that what kind of COVID-19 affects predictive modeling in line with these various disease symptoms that you've accumulated over the period of time of one particular patient. You will be able to predict whether this particular comorbidity holding patient would be liable to be affected by COVID-19 or not. So I think these kind of things are extremely important. Let's talk about Pakistan a little bit, how we can proliferate artificial intelligence kind of technologies in Pakistan. I think one of the biggest problems that we have in Pakistan is the skill set of AI. I have seen students and different kind of organizations, they have used very academic kind of models to enhance the skill set of our upcoming youth, upcoming agents. I think the best way to learn AI modeling and AI technologies is project-based learning, and fusing the project-based learning within a public-private kind of a partnership can help government as well as the private sector to leverage data housed in government-owned data centers and create that real value out of what we have accumulated over the period of time, and at the same time build the skill set on project-based learning of our youth. Just to conclude, I think there is no opting out of AI transformation across the world. To stay competitive, every organization must ultimately embrace AI and shape an AI environment within their own organization, within the government, within their own working habits. I very strongly feel future of AI apps growth is extremely important both in the public and the private sector, and I see humongous amount of opportunities, exponential opportunities for revenue growth in context of AI apps in the private sector, as well as improving the efficiency and the outcome of the processes that we have deployed at the government sector. I thank you all, and I wish you all the best and a great day to come. Thank you.